That's the way it's supposed to be. So go on and show your colors for all the world to see. Hey, yeah. So you can clearly see. Go to higher levels and find your liberty. Fly above your issues and all that negativity. The sky is the limit, so spread your wings. Hey, hey, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Just be who God designed. Come on. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Just be who God designed. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Just be who God designed. Come on now. See, God's just waiting for you. So here's what you gotta do. You got to fly so high, so high. Butterfly, butterfly. Fly so high, so high. Butterfly. Beyond the situation, beyond your limitations, begin your elevation. Go ahead and make it happen. God made you for a reason. This is the start of your season. So keep on believing and walk like you mean it. Beyond your situations, beyond your limitations, begin your elevation. Go ahead and make it happen. God made you for a reason. This is the start of your season. So keep on believing and walk like you mean it. Yeah. The sky is the limit. So keep on believing. Keep on believing. Yeah. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. 'Cause you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Designed and created so beautifully. So don't be afraid to spread your wings and fly.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, let me tell you what I don't know. Your body be bodying. How I go to bed one way and wake up with knee hurts. I'm like, what are we doing, body? Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Oh my gosh. Anybody got any remedies for the old girl? Listen, I was like, who beat me up in my sleep last night and I slept by myself? So good morning and happy Monday to everyone. I'm like, I cannot. Hey, no gray zoners in the house. We are still talking about awareness. I hope you guys had a good Monday. It's gonna cool off here in California. We was in the 90s last week. It'll be in the 80s, which is a good thing. So I'm excited about that. Well, let's continue this journey on awareness. I have created some, but I'm going to finish awareness out. And then we got some new ones about the thought, your what is your thought process and all these other good things. So I got some stuff I do want to share, but we're going to finish this. So let's get started. Yes, come on with the hair. Listen, we go do something different all the time. But just right, I needed the door a little bit darker though, niece. I realized that it's too close to my skin color. So I need to go a little bit darker, I think. We gonna see what we do, child. We'll figure it out. If you have the book Until Today, it is talking about guilt. And I believe it's March 21st that we are doing. So if you have the book, March 21st is where we're gonna start. Let's get started. Awareness means realizing that just because guilt was placed on you does not mean it belongs to you. Let's say that again. Just because guilt was placed on you does not mean that it belongs to you. Welcome to the Daily Dose with Miss Nogray, your root therapist. This is your moment to pause, to reflect, and to grow because healing begins with awareness. let's get into today's daily devotional. Today's daily devotionals remind us to examine the guilt we carry, and some of us are carrying some guilt, and some of the guilt is not yours. A lot of the guilt is not yours. Here we go. I open my heart and mind to be aware there is no need for me to be guilty about what I cannot or could not do. Mm, that right there is enough. You cannot realize a meaningful, let me make sure I got the right one. Guilt. Is this the right one? I know I just saw it. Hold on, y'all. These they look so similar. I just want to make sure I got the right one. Okay, here we go. March 22nd is the date. An indictment is a statement of charges. We would like to believe that indictment does not import guilt. The truth of the matter is, once the finger of guilt is placed upon you, it can be quite difficult to shake it off. Nowhere in the presumption of guilt is more devastating than when you point the finger at yourself. Guilt over what you did, guilt over what you didn't do. A guilty mind and heart is incredibly destructive. Guilt damages your self worth almost as quickly as it erodes self respect. The guilt then flows into your relationships, which makes it difficult for you to give anyone the benefit of the doubt. When you believe that you are guilty, you will recreate situations in which you will be accused. I got to let that one breathe. Let me say that again. When you believe that you are guilty, you will recreate situations in which you will be accused. Y'all remember we talked about the thought process? Are y'all seeing how all this is connecting together? I hope y'all catching it because guilt is also energy. And if guilt takes hold of you, everything around you will become what you believe you should have. Okay, I just want to say that. Guilty people are defensive. Quite often they overcompensate by giving too much and saying too much. When a person feels guilty, it is difficult for them to see anything good in themselves, so they are compelled to try to do more to prove their innocence. Unfortunately, the more they do, the more guilty they feel. You are not guilty. You may be right that you could have done things in a better way. This does not mean that you must be sentenced to a life term of proving yourself that you are good. In order to remove guilt, you must acknowledge to yourself what you have done. This is good. Yeah, it's really, really own it. Come on, type it in the chat. I must own it. Just own it. Learn from it and move on. Own it. Don't make no excuses. That's why you're feeling the guilty because you won't own it and you know you should. Watch this. When possible, you must make amends. Once you have done these two things, let yourself off the hook. Letting yourself off the hook means you would not beat yourself up forever. And it gives the opportunity to make better choices the next time around. Oh, yeah, this is going to be good this morning. Okay. Until today, you may have been unable to see yourself as guilt free. Just for today, be devoted to reclaiming the innocence of your heart. Mhm. Acknowledge what you have done or not done and let it go. Now, the question is, why won't you let it go? Let me tell you what I experience all the time, niece, Tosh. Especially in sessions. I should have known better. I should have did this. And this is what I tell people all the time. And this is what guilt does to you. If you really knew better, especially when, because for instance, especially when we have regret about the things we did or didn't do for our children, right? And I always ask this question, especially with people who think they're supposed to know all this. You know what I tell them, Lee? I asked this question, Lee. I said, well, who taught you? Oh, wait. Since you're supposed to know everything, why didn't you do it? Well, I didn't know. Well, okay, you didn't know. Watch this. You're beating yourself up because you didn't do it, but you didn't know how to do it, but you think you should have known how to do it? Help that make sense. I'll say this constantly to people. Who taught you? And I still don't think we understand how much our childhood matters. And the stuff that we do is in your roots. And a lot of stuff that we do, if no one came into your life and told you how your family moving is not normal, you would never think it was not normal. Hello? Majority of, give you an example, the majority of women that get into abusive relationships because that's what they saw in their mother and father who are still married to this day. So even though people on the outside can say, well, you should know better. No, no, not if that's your norm. Not if that's your norm. It would make sense for you to believe that because that's what you saw in your family. And they happy and they're married, but every now and again they have fights. You expect that in your relationships. Why? Because that's what you saw. Now, as you realize this stuff is dysfunctional, a lot of us are living in dysfunctional stuff and don't know it. Like, what do you mean? What? You would be amazed how many people are in dysfunctional situations and they think it's normal. Hello? Chances are your son and your daughter is going to marry someone like their parents. Why? Because you are their first love and you are the one that's teaching them what to do. And to a lot of them who go the total opposite is, excuse me, it's toxic because they just, I don't want to be like that, but they don't know who they are. So I say this all the time, even with me and learning stuff. Me as a therapist, I can't go in here, excuse me, expecting to know everything if I haven't been taught. So you are over here running. I was like, I don't think, and this is, and I mean this with all my heart, and I believe this is going to help somebody today, especially when I look at parents, my generation, showing regret of how they raised their children. Let me give y'all an example of the guilt I felt. I have this book that I was reading, then we'll go into the closing, but this is going to help somebody. I had this book that I was reading about attachment styles, right? But it was talking to us, it was sharing a chapter on how it starts in children. Remember, I told y'all attachment style starts from the ages of 0 to 18 months. They're not even 2 years old. And it gave an example of how we can mess up our kids. Is y'all ready for this? Okay. Especially in the Black family, y'all gonna know exactly what I'm about to say, because this is what I was taught by my mama, by my grandmama and them, by my aunties, everybody, because I was a new parent. And this is what was taught to me, that chances are it was taught to y'all, and I'm finna mess y'all world up too. So now that I know better and I understand the science behind it, I share this with my parent, my couples who got newborns, because I don't want them to make the mistake that we have been taught. Y'all ready for this? You ready to clutch your pearls, mothers? Because some of y'all are still doing it to this day. Okay, it was a whole chapter explaining the attachment style. And I want y'all to share this with other people because this is going to rock y'all world too. Okay, it says that the frontal lobe of a child's brain has not yet been developed. So the baby can definitely think, but it doesn't understand context. And the way you have to give the baby context is to simply pick the baby up, look the baby in its eyes, and explain to the baby what just happened. Now, here we go. How does a baby get an avoidant or anxious attachment style? To a child, the only way they can communicate to their parents is by crying. I'm finna go there. So, to the child, because the child doesn't understand context, sometimes when I cry, my parents come pick me up. And sometimes when I cry, they don't. To the child, you're giving the child mixed signals. And if y'all don't believe me, I want y'all to go, when y'all get through with this live, go to YouTube and Google, or maybe I'll do it tomorrow. If y'all wanted me to do it tomorrow, we can share it tomorrow, or I can try to show it to you today, or eye contact to the child, right? And so what happens to the baby? See, what we were taught growing up, don't pick up that baby every time. That baby cry, you go spoil that baby. That baby need to cry and realize that everything can't get just because they cry, they can't get their way. Public service announcement. You can't spoil a newborn child. Mhm. Because we thinking, because this is what we've been taught. They hungry, we done fed them, they done burped, they got a good diaper, they good. During that time of the child's life is communicating through their eyes. It's communicating through you talking to them. So we were taught that let that baby cry and they'll stop crying. But to the child, they're getting have trust issues. Why? Because the only thing I can do is cry to get their attention. Watch this. And sometime when I cry, they come. And sometime when I cry, they don't. Remember, the context part of the brain has not been developed. Now, this way it gets deeper. Because the context part of the brain has not been developed, everything the baby does, it's their fault or it's their reason. What do I mean? If the baby's in a room and everybody is laughing, the baby is assuming I did that because they don't understand context. And we don't talk to kids because we don't think they understand. So watch this. I'm gonna give you this example, and it messed me up. Say, for instance, me and my husband, we had a disagreement. Okay, I was excited because me and him had already planned a date. I didn't call my friend over. They're watching the baby because we need a break. I need a break. It's just been rough, and I've been excited. Okay, husband come home and he be like, "Babe, I changed my. I'm all excited. I got my dress out, and we going out." And the baby's sitting over there. She ain't crying, but our baby girl, she's sitting there in the high chair, and in the just that she in the bassinet, and she woke because daddy came over, gave her a kiss, and she's just happy, happy, happy. And then daddy turns to me and said, "Babe, I don't want to go out tonight. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I just want to kick it with you." They said her name is Princess. We'll call her Princess. "I don't want to go nowhere, babe. I just want to kick it with Princess and da 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 da." And this is what I say, "Babe, no. I've been waiting for this day. We planned this event. I already got look. Trina is coming over to watch Princess, and we gonna be good. I want to go out. Now watch this. Princess hears her name. She hears mommy and daddy arguing, and she hears, even though it's not an argument, screaming and yelling, she can tell by the room because see, children know frequency. I'm trying to help y'all out with this thing. Children are the closest thing to God because they have not been tainted. Yeah. So she hear me and husband, her daddy, mentioning her name. So guess what Princess thinks automatically? It's my fault that mommy and daddy are arguing. You know why? We haven't told her differently. So if me and daddy was actually smiling and laughing at each other, even though it ain't about Princess, Princess thinks she did that too. So because we are having this disagreement and Princess can hear the change in our voices, it's my fault that mommy and daddy are arguing. You didn't know that, did you? And what we needed to do, pick the baby up, look her in her eyes, and simply say, "Princess, I know you heard your name, but you are not the reason why me and daddy have a disagreement. You just gave the baby context." So she knows that mommy and daddy have an argument, but it's not my fault. Hmm? That's how your attachment style starts. So when the baby is crying and you let that baby sit there and cry in the baby's mind, why won't they come get me? What I do wrong? The attachment style starts between 0 to 18 months old. We've been taught to let that baby cry because you're going to spoil them. You can't spoil a newborn child. The only thing you can do is affirm that child, love on that child, and you're giving that baby a secure attachment. Now that I know better, when I first heard that, y'all, I cried like a baby. I said, "Oh my God, I messed my baby up." Oh my God. Because I remember those days when he was crying and don't you pick that baby up. You gonna spoil that baby. He just got it. And he crying himself to sleep. But to the child, they're crying themselves to sleep because they're confused. Because watch this, the caregivers that they have is wishy-washy. Sometimes they come for me and sometimes they don't. Watch this. I can't trust them people. I'm just here to help you. Because see, that baby don't understand. So the baby now, I don't trust these people. Sometime they come and sometime they don't. And what I will do tomorrow, because I'm almost done, I'm going to show y'all. I know some of y'all don't believe what I'm saying, but I bet you when you see it tomorrow, you will. I'm going to bring up a video of a lady that did a test. Yeah, we all heard that. They did a test on what happens when the baby loses eye contact with the mother. And this was for 30 seconds. And I want y'all to see how fractured that baby became when the mother sat beside that baby. And they showed, for instance, how mothers of 2026, y'all other ones, on the phone, even though you're with the baby, there is no eye contact. I'm going to show it to y'all so y'all can see it for yourself so we can do better. It matters to that child between 0 to 18 months. That's when the attachment style starts. Do better. I couldn't beat myself, so what I had to do, Celeste, forgive myself. Why? Because I never knew. That's why I share it all the time so you can be better because some of the things we were never taught. Okay? Now let's get back to this. Awareness teaches us that not all guilty is ours to carry. Sometimes guilt is placed on us by others. Sometimes guilt is formed by expectations that we could not meet. Sometimes guilt comes in things that were never in our control. And once guilt is attached to us, it will begin to feel like the truth. We replay it, we carry it, we allow it to define how we see ourselves. But awareness invites you to ask the question, if this is guilt justified, or is it something I've been holding on unnecessarily? Because there is a difference between responsibility and false guilt. Responsibility says, I can learn and grow. False guilt says, I should have done what I was never able to do. You are not required to carry what was never yours to fix. Ooh, let that breathe. You are not required to carry what was never yours to fix. You are not guilty for what's beyond your capacity, your knowledge, or your control. Today, it is about releasing. Today, we are letting go of the weight that we were never meant to carry. Today, we are choosing freedom over self condemnation. Today, we are releasing guilt that does not belong to us. No gray areas. Are y'all ready to release the guilt? Hmm? And you know what? You can choose to do that today. Everything is a choice. It is not your responsibility to carry the guilt of your family. It is not your responsibility to carry things that you honestly did not know how to do. Everything is a choice. You can choose to carry this guilt or you can choose to release it. It was never yours to carry. You're trying to prove something to people that has nothing to do with you. You are trying to prove to your people that that may be part of my family, but that's not me. It is time for you to let it go and be who God called you to be and quit trying to prove that you are better to someone who has no desire to know about that part of you anyway. Today, remember, everything we do is a choice. Today, I choose to let it go. Come on, give yourself a hand. Are you ready to release it? Because what does it carry to do? Is giving you a lot of y'all. That's why some of y'all blood pressure is high because you are holding on to stuff that's not yours. Release it. Let it go. Okay. I hope this helps somebody on today. Let's get to our affirmations and then we are done. I release guilt that does not belong to me. Come on. Y'all need to say that one out loud. Scream it. I release guilt that does not belong to me. Romans 8:1. There is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And let you see how your guilt work. Some of y'all be asking God for forgiveness and still be beating yourself up. God done forgave you. You go back into the deep sea and just go back and pick it back up because you don't know how to release it and let it go. Because, like I said, once you have been indicted, even when you may be found not guilty, the indictment is still over your head in the first place. Okay. Our second one, I accept grace for what I could not do. It was some things in my life I had to realize and had to let myself go because I was one of those too going, I should have known better. I should have known better. Till I started asking myself, well, if you really had known better, Rochelle, would you have not done it? And the answer was I would have done it. So why are you beating yourself over something that you really did not know how to do? I'm praying this is helping somebody on this morning. The scripture, 2 Corinthians 12:9, for God said, my grace is sufficient for you. I accept grace for what I could not do. It's some things we just don't know. And this is the killing part about it. And let me tell you this, especially first time moms. Because, this kid, we can be honest, first time parents, that's on the job training. Hello? That first baby, oh, we did some damage because we didn't know what we were doing. That's why if you look at it from your firstborn to like maybe your third, totally different. Why? Because you learned better parenting as you got older. So that first baby, you are trying to figure it out. And unfortunately, we are doing on the job training with our firstborn. And you look back and realize, oh my gosh, I made some mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. You honestly did not know. And it's okay. Forgive yourself and continue to do better. Okay? I walk in freedom, no condemnation. John 8:36. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. In the story. I can't be letting people constantly go back and forth trying to make me feel guilty over something I did not know. And a lot of y'all are carrying guilt from your childhood, and y'all are carrying some heavy guilt. Today is a choice. You can choose to release it and let it go because it is not benefiting your life, carrying around this guilt for years. But the biggest one is you're carrying around guilt. Some of us mothers are carrying around guilt because we chose the wrong dad, if we can be honest with it. But this is what you have to do. You have to own it. If you need to apologize, apologize and do better, right? But you can't keep guilt tripping yourself. It's not working. Some of you have been doing this for years to yourself. Let it go. Everything is a choice. You can choose to release it or not. It's your choice. Everything you do is a choice. Okay? Y'all know who I am. My name is Rochelle, Miss No Gray Henderson, and I'm here to help the best way I can. If you have any questions, you can always call and talk to me, or you can shoot me a text. I have no problems with that. But listen, it's time for us to release it. Now that you know and now that you are aware, do better. God has forgiven you. If you have learned a lesson, if you need to apologize, do that. But if the person or persons are not here, if you've learned from it, why are you still beating yourself up about it? But the biggest one is stop carrying the guilt of your family. Stop there. Stop trying to prove to people that I'm not like that. Just be you. Just be you. Oh, wait, let me turn that around because I don't like it that so. You got to just be you. Point blank, period. I don't know why we keep thinking otherwise. Here we go. That's it. That's all. You cannot take on your families what they choose to do because they all grown. That's not your place. Okay. Let's say our morning mantra. I pray this helps somebody on this beautiful Monday morning. Let's go. Trust anchors me. Clarity guides me. I no longer abandon myself to keep the peace. What is revealed is here to heal me. I am safe. I am protected. I am loved. Okay, y'all. Happy, 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 happy Monday. And let's say our closing prayer. God, Help us become aware of the guilt we are carrying, where we have held one to guilt that was never ours. Give us the courage to release it. Where we have blamed ourselves for things beyond our control, give us peace. Where we have allowed guilt to define us, remind us of your grace. Teach us the difference between responsibility and false guilt. Today, we release what does not belong to us. Today, we choose freedom. Today, we accept your grace in no gray areas. For it is in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen. I pray that this helps someone today. Everything is a choice, and you can choose to release the guilt that was never yours to carry in the first place. Okay, y'all. So tomorrow morning, that will be the first thing I will show. I'm going to find the video. They showed it, and it just broke my heart. Um, mhm. So attachment styles does matter. 0 to 18 months. Actually, in the mother's womb is when the attachment style can start. So we need to educate ourselves so we can teach our grandkids, your nieces, your great nieces, on the things that they need to do better because we did not know, because we were never taught and did not really know it was really that easy. It's not saying you can't argue around your children, but what you need to do is give that baby context to realize, yes, you heard us argue, but it was not your fault. If you don't do that, that child automatically assumes that the reason my parents and everybody in the room is arguing is my fault. hmm It's my fault. It's crazy. But I'm trying to get y'all to understand when we know better, we do better. So, again, thank y'all so much for watching. And Lord's willing, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.